Good morning, gang. I'm back. All right. Yeah, the battle continues. So I want to start this one real quick because God knows I've got a ton of emails from people. Where have you been? Where have you been? Are you okay? Whatever. Guys, y'all know me. All right. I toe that line real close, and occasionally I step over it. I just spent the last week and a half in YouTube jail. Now, if I'm not here, y'all know every morning without fail, I post a video, okay, every day with what's going on. Keep you guys informed, let you know what's going on, and the topics can range from whatever. If you come to this channel, Pinball Preparedness, and you don't see a video in the morning, go check out the backup channel, which is Pinball Prepping. All right. The link to it is below in the description. Go over there because for the last week and a half, that's where I've been posting all the daily updates, commentary, tips, whatever would be. The thing is, YouTube doesn't say, hey, we're looking at giving you a strike. It's just all of a sudden I look at the computer and poof, you're shut down for X amount of time. So I can't go on the community board. I can't tell you anything of the sort about not being here. So the only thing I can tell you is I ain't going to shut up. And so if you don't find me on this channel, go look on prepping, because Pinball Prepping, because that's where I'll be. That's where I've been for the last time. I do post to both channels. So, I would, if you want to know what's going on, I would suggest subscribing to both and just paying attention. Okay. You don't have to. It's up to you. I'm just telling you where I am because a lot of you guys asked me. So, all right. Housekeeping out of the way. Let's get into the scary shit that's going on. Now, those of you that watched yesterday's video on pinball prepping, where I told you to be very cognizant about what's going on in the 10-year yield, because we are very close to economic calamity. All right, we're at 1.67 as I'm recording this video at 9 o'clock on Friday morning. And like I said, 1.75 is where we go, uh-oh, we got problems. Now, here's what's going on. The economy is in shambles. Biden has done everything he possibly could to screw it up, okay? Whether it's incompetence or whether it's planned, okay, that's up for debate. But irregardless of why, we know what we're involved in. Now, as for your money, not just today but for going forward, I'll give you some interesting information. Europe has now come out and said that they are pushing 5% inflation for the year. That's what they're now projecting. I mean, granted, we got 2 months left to go in the year. They're at 4% now. They're predicting another 1% increase for the year-over-year numbers. So that's significant here going into the last month. Remember, official inflation figures do not include food and energy, and housing in Europe, okay, which are pretty much the three most expensive things that people pay. We all know what's going on with energy prices in Europe. I mean, Canada is looking at $6 a gallon of gas. We are up over $4 a gallon in the U.S. on average. Europe has heating oil problems. They have natural gas problems. Okay, so we have a worldwide calamity here. Then you add what came out yesterday afternoon in the U.S. And for those of you that pay attention to the oil markets, okay, because obviously this affects your gasoline, your natural gas, your heating oil, whatever petroleum, plastics, styrofoam, whatever petroleum products you use, okay. The Cushing, Oklahoma storage facility, okay, this is the largest storage facility the United States has for West Texas Intermediate crude. They are now warning that they are almost out of oil. And now what you are getting from the analysts is we could see prices explode by the end of the year. Now, I'll remember at the beginning of the year, my predictions, as I said, I bet you we see on average $5 a gallon of gas in the United States. If this happens, we smoke $5 a gallon of gas. I know some places, California, things like that, it's already over $5. I'm talking on average. Right now, where I am in Texas, it's a little, or Texas, where the hell do I live? It's the second time I've done that. Where I am in Tennessee, gas is a little over $3 a gallon. All right, so we're up over 50% since Potato took office. Now, what the hell do we do? I've mentioned many times about precious metals, okay? We're also, storing your gasoline, but there's only so much you can store, okay? 5-gallon containers and 55-gallon drums, whatever it's going to be. You can't store hundreds of gallons of gas in your backyard. Physically, sure, you could, okay? But safety-wise, not exactly the greatest idea, okay? But you get what my point is. Gasoline's going to explode. Heating oil is going to explode. We already know what's going on in shortages on coal, on natural gas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I get into precious metals, and I've talked about it. Rudy's talked about it, about buying silver, about buying gold, about whatever. And so many people, your opinion, you know what I've always said about opinions. You can take mine, take what you want as, what you want to do with it, ignore what you don't care about, okay? It's fine. I'm giving you my take on this. We all know about Venezuela. There is utter catastrophe. They've dropped 6 zeros off of the currency right now. And what $1 is something like 2.4 billion bolivar. Okay. So you can imagine you're not buying anything with bolivar. In Venezuela, if you have US dollars, merchants are thrilled. If you have euros, merchants are thrilled. If you have the Colombian peso, merchants are happy. By law, they have to take bolivar. Okay, you can't refuse somebody to purchase something. Now, okay, you want to get a haircut, it's going to cost you 15 billion bolivar. And so we go back to the Weimar Republic idea where you're pushing a wheelbarrow in to do it. This is where I say precious metals when everybody says, well, what good are they? This is actually going on now. Okay, this is what hyperinflation does. In Venezuela, today, okay, October 22nd, you have merchants that are taking payment in gold. All right. Article up on Yahoo Finance. All right. One night stay in a hotel, 0.5 gram of gold. Lunch for 2 at a Chinese restaurant, 1/4 gram of gold. A haircut, 1/8 gram of gold. Merchants are taking gold. Nowhere in the world has used gold as a currency in over 100 years. It's now being used again. This is what I'm telling you guys. When everything goes to hell, if the U.S. has a hyperinflationary market, that destroys the world economy. It doesn't matter if you got euros, yen, bolivar, rubles, francs, Australian dollars, doesn't make a lick of difference. If the U.S. dollar collapses, the entire world economy goes to shit. Period. This is it. People have asked me, is it possible, after yesterday's video, is it possible the U.S. could default on our debt? Yes, but the chances of the U.S. defaulting on the debt are slim. Why? Because the Fed will just crank up the printing presses faster, which is going to drive inflation up. That's why I said yesterday about watching interest rates, because as interest rates go up and the Fed is going to stop this buyback, okay, quantitative easing, which is going to drive rates up, which is going to cause more inflation. Countries around the world are saying expect inflation to continue through 2022. Not to stay where we are, to keep going up, all right? So your dollar is going to be worth less and less and less and less, which means commodities are going to be worth more and more and more and more, all right? and whether that commodity is oil, whether it's wheat, whether it's gold, silver, whatever would be. Now, if anybody took a look this morning, all right, again, a little after 9 o'clock here, markets are open. Gold is back up above 1,800 bucks. It's up 1.5% this morning. Silver is up above 24.50. It's coming back. Silver's pushing almost 2% up today because the traders, the ones who really decide what's going on with the economy, are freaking out. All right. If you look at the sentiment on the markets as of right now, as what the traders, the guys working the floor, the guys are wearing the coats, the one guy wearing a cow coat, with their numbers on it, the floor traders. Okay. You have slightly over half of the traders right now are bullish on the economy. Bullish means think it's going to get better. All right. Slightly under half think it's going to get worse. That trend is going down. You have more and more traders every day that are hedging. They're getting out of the markets and going into safe havens, i.e. commodities of some sort, precious metals, oil futures, whatever would be, okay? Because those guys, their job is to make money. If they don't see it in the stock market and they see it in commodities, guess what that means, guys? All right, this is where we want to be. You've got to figure out a way to protect your assets. Everything. Like I said, land, great thing to buy. Move to it, okay? If you got extra cash, pay off your bills. Get out of debt. If you got extra savings, I've mentioned the figures for years that rule of thumb has been 5 to 10% in precious metals. That's now better. 20% is a better way to do it. 20% of whatever you have in savings should be in silver and gold. Period. Okay. It will be used as a currency. Venezuela today is telling you exactly what's going on. The world's falling apart, guys, economically. And Trudeau and Biden and Morrison and Merkel and everybody, they're just ramping the speed up. Do what you can to save your ass. I can't scream enough. I've done videos on how to buy precious metals. I'm not going to get into trying to tell people how to buy oil futures. That's not for the faint of heart. Let's put it that way. But if you have the ability to go to the store and buy motor oil for your car, 3 or 4 oil changes worth, for your lawnmower, for your weed whacker, for your four-wheeler, for your snowmobile, for your boat, for your motorcycle, for whatever you got, get it, all right? Because it's going to be harder to get, if not impossible, soon, all right? Like we talked about on the other channel the other day, oil filters, air filters, paper products that are going to be able to keep your machinery that you are going to need running. I've mentioned before, 30% of the tractors that farmers use right now are sitting out in the fields not running. Why? Because the tractor broke down, it got a flat tire, whatever it would be, and the parts aren't available. Get what you can, commodities-wise, because there is coming a day very shortly, and no, I am not trying to fearmonger here, where you are going to go to the store and this stuff ain't going to be there. You are going to go to the store and they're going to say, I'm sorry, that loaf of bread is $20 because we're going to hit hyperinflation. It's coming. We are close. Please take care of this for yourself. I don't want to have to say, I told you so a month, 2 months, 6 months down the road for this. If the worst case scenario hits and nothing happens, pray to God, okay? Trust me, I'm not the one that wants to see SHTF happen at all, okay? I just don't want to be caught with my pants down if it does. But worst case scenario, if you go do this, big deal. What do you have? You've got oil to do those oil changes now that you don't have to worry about buying oil for a few seasons. Cool, okay? You've got an extra filter. Cool, no big deal. Oh, you bought precious metals? Gee, by some act of God that the world economy gets better and everything like that, fine. Go sell the gold and silver. Okay? Not a big deal. It's a hedge, guys. It's to protect yourself. This is what we are all trying to do as preppers, is protect ourselves from catastrophe. Please do something. Because if we're running out of oil in the United States, Europe's running out of natural gas, China's running out of coal, what the hell is going to come down next? Please, 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 please take this seriously. I know there's going to be plenty of you that disagree with me and say, gee, I'd rather buy green beans than buy oil or buy gold or whatever it is, and that's fine. Okay. But once you got all the green beans that you need and you've got something else to do, please take this seriously, because I ain't kidding with you when we are getting ready for economic calamity. Welcome back. Pinball out.